So we're going to start seated, whether you're sitting in the chair or sitting on the floor. So find that seat. It's always a good idea to have something to sit on. I promise you we won't sit for very long. And then make sure before we get started that you have a block and you have a very light set of weights. As I said earlier, I'm working with twos, and then possibly a heavier set of weights. We're going to do some chest presses from our back in bridge pose towards the end of the practice. So you might want the heavier weights, but you can decide. All right, so roll your shoulders back, shrug off whether you slept well last night, right? Any of that stuff that happened before you came to your mat this morning. And then bringing your fingertips either to the side of your chair or to the floor, soften your gaze so you can start to find that sense of grounding and steadiness. That's going to help us as we move into some poses for balance today and poses to work on bone strength. So we just feel connected, grounded. Notice the rhythm of your breath. And then see if you can find that longer exhale. It's usually the exhale that needs to be lengthened. Check to see what your body's telling you this morning. And then finally, before we begin to move, I'm going to invite you to set an intention. So bring your fingertips or your hands over your heart space as you look for that intention for your good and your well-being. Take one more breath here. And then opening your eyes, even if your gaze is towards the floor. With the next inhale, we're going to open the arms nice and wide and lift them up, and lift your gaze so we can start to warm up the arms and the shoulders. And then exhale, take your gaze down as your hands come back over the heart. And we'll do that maybe 3 more times. Inhale, lift, and exhale, come back. If you can, switch which hand comes to the chest first. I think this is number 4. And then we're going to lift the arms one final time. And let's stay here and take 3 breaths. So breathing in, feel like you stretch and get a little taller. Breathing out, feel that centering into the earth. Breathe in and out one more time. And bring your hands back down to your heart. Good, and pause here. We're going to move into some dynamic side bending. So again, bringing fingertips towards the ground. You're going to inhale your left arm overhead. You can either hold the chair or hand to the floor. And then we'll windmill to the opposite side. So we want to move the whole spine all the way up into the neck. And I would encourage you to feel some stretch into your side down towards the waist and the top of the hips. Let's do at least one more. So the next time you come to your right, let's pause there and look up towards your arm and your hand. And then as you exhale, bend your elbow so your fingertips come towards your shoulder, and look down towards your hand by the chair or the floor. And inhale, reach up, and exhale, bend that elbow. We just want to warm up the arms. We're going to do that one more time. And at this time, bring your fingertips to your shoulders, and while you're still looking down, circle your elbow. So let go any tension in the neck and the shoulder, and then circle the other way. Good. And then coming to stillness, reach up, look up towards your hand, and we're going to windmill right to the other side, so the hand will come to the chair or to the floor. You can look up. We'll pause and breathe here for a moment, and then we're going to bend the elbow, fingertips towards the shoulders. You look down and reach up and look up. Do that 2 more times. This time, as you bend the elbow, fingertips to the shoulder, and make those circles, whatever size feels good for your shoulder. And then let's reverse. Coming to stillness, take your arm overhead, take a look up, and use that arm to bring yourself up to center. Good. Bringing hands to knees, come into a seated cat-cow. So arching the back and then rounding it, moving back and forth a couple times to get that forward and arching motion into the spine. And then coming back to neutral, you can bring your hands behind you if you're on the floor. Just stretch your legs out so you might scoot back in your chair and take a moment to either windshield wiper your legs, circle your ankles, whatever's going to feel good for you, because we're going to come up to standing next. All right, so when you're ready, let's come on up to standing. You can move the blanket out of the way. We'll do just a little more warm up before we grab our props. Good. So as you come up to stand, roll out the shoulders, take them back individually, and then take them forward individually. Good. Coming to center, widen your feet, take your hands to your hips and make some hip circles. Want those legs ready to move with us. And then we'll go the other way. Good. Stepping your feet close together, bring your hands to your knees and circle your knees. You'll feel that little bit of shifting on the soles of the feet, which might challenge balance a little bit, but you also get some nice movement into the knees and ankles. And then let's take those circles the other way. Good. Coming to stillness, you can stand up tall and lift one leg, kind of shake it out. And then lift the other leg, shake it out. So you might need the chair for this. And then we're going to grab our weights. So let's start with small weights because we're going to start with marching. This is a way to work with balance, right? If you are concerned about balance, you can certainly do this without the weights. But we're going to start in mountain pose. And what we're going to do is on an inhale, we'll take both arms overhead. And when the arms come down, we're going to lift one knee. So we'll start with the right. Right, so it's like we're marching in place. So as you inhale, slowly take your arms up, make sure it's controlled. And then exhale, lower your arms and lift your right knee. You're going to take that right foot down, lift both arms. And slowly come down, lift the left knee. So you see there's some weight shifting here. Left foot down, arms up. And now to the right. So this is number 3. We're going to do a total of 10. 4. 5. Try and control the weights coming down. 6. 7. 8. Feeling that in your upper body. 9. And 10. Take the arms up. Right? Breathe here. Press up through your hands. And then slowly lower your arms down. Good. We're going to move into chair pose next. So I would encourage you to use your block between your thighs. It just helps bring a little more alignment to your legs and also so that your knees will track appropriately. If this bothers you at all, you can certainly do it without. And we're going to start with the weights at our chest. So I'm going to turn a little bit sideways so that you can see what I'm doing. And let me show you the movement one time. So we're going to bend our knees, take the arms forward. We're going to open them out to the side. You'll see why I wanted the smaller weights. Come back forward and then straighten the knees as we bring them in. So we're going to do 10 of these. If you need to stop and take a break, please do. So let's do it together. So breathe in. As you exhale, bend your knees, reach forward, open out to the side. Bring them back together, nice and controlled, and into the chest as you straighten. This is 2. Open wide, back together, and center. 3. Make sure you're controlling every movement, that you're not flinging the arms open. This is 4. If that opening the arms bothers your shoulders, just do this and stay. 5. 6. 7, 8. You're doing a great job. 9. Open together. Last one, and I promise we aren't going to hold. Open fully together and into the chest. Woo! Good job. Bet you're feeling that in your legs and in your shoulders. Yeah, so if you need to take a stretch, you can, or you can do some little side bends here. So whichever you would prefer. All right. Great job. We're going to move into tree pose next. So I'm going to put the block off to the side. And you have the option, if you need your hands to hold a chair, you can put the weights down. If you'd like that extra challenge, we're going to hold the weights at our chest and the arms aren't going to move. They're going to stay here. So do what's best for you. I'm going to start on my right leg, but you're welcome to, we're going to do both legs. So be nice and tall in that standing leg. We're going to keep the weights here at our chest. You're going to bend the left knee, open it out to the side. Toes can stay on the ground. A little more challenging is to bring your foot up to your calf. And we're going to stay here for a count of 10. So just keep breathing. So we're going to say for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost my balance. Maybe you did too. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Release your arms, release your foot. And we're going to do the other side. So just find that foot position for yourself. Bring the weights back to your chest, and we'll stay for another count of 10. If you need to hold the chair and not use the weights, that's perfectly fine. And let's stay for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great, and let it go. Nice balancing this morning. Good. You need to roll out your shoulders. Please do that. And we're going to move into a warrior 2 stance next. So when you're ready, take your feet nice and wide. Remember, wide is important. So Susan S., go a little wider if you can. And let's turn our feet to the right. So even the back toes turn a little bit to the right. Good. And for this one, the weights are going to start at our chest. We're going to bend our knee and then hold the lower body. And then we're going to open the arms into a cactus. So we start to work the shoulders and the biceps. So bend your knee, check that you have that good alignment, press into both feet. And then we're going to take the arms up for 1 and then slowly back to the chest. And we're going to lift for 2 and back to the chest. 3, keep squeezing the thighs together, pressing into the feet. 4, this is a little easier because we're not bending straight the knee, so it's a little easier on the legs. 5, 6, remember you can stop anytime you need to. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And see if you can stay for 2 breaths. So breathe in, breathe out, feel strong and mighty here. Breathe in, breathe out, and then bring your weights back to your chest, straighten your knee, turn your feet forward, and just shift your hips a little side to side. All right, we're going to do a different arm pattern on the other side. So let's just turn our feet to the left. This time we're going to have the weights at our shoulders, or just the front of the shoulders. And we'll be in that bent knee position, but we're going to reach the arms back. So we're working the back of the upper arm of the triceps. So let's do 10 of these. So find that nice steady stance, press into your feet, engage your glutes even here. Breathe in, and as you exhale, take the weights back and then forward. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Release the weights by your side. Turn your feet forward. We're going to keep our wide leg stance, but we're going to turn the toes out because we're going to come into a goddess pose next. So hopefully by the time we get to the 10th, you're starting to feel a little burn in the back of the arms. We're going to again keep the weights at our chest. This time we're going to be bending our knees. So we're going to come into that goddess squat. Squats are so important for keeping our legs strong. And this will help with bone health. So we'll do 10 squats. Again, if your knees are prohibitive of doing that many, do what you can. So breathe in, and as you exhale, deeply bend your knees. Come down for 1 and straighten. Squeeze the glutes as you come up. Come down 2. Squeeze the buttocks as you come up. Bend for 3. Squeeze on up. 4. Squeeze up. 5. Squeeze up. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Okay, good job. Lower your arms, bring your feet in. Matter of fact, you probably want to just put the weights down for a moment, right? Shake out your hands. Ooh. And we're going to do one final standing balance before we move down to the floor. I know, yeah, empty coat sleeves is a great idea. I see some of you doing that. So make sure you let your hips kind of swing with that. All right, so we're going to do a heel to toe balance. Both feet will be on the floor, but it's challenging just because of where the pelvis moves. So as you come back towards center, we're going to come to a mountain pose. And let's start with taking the right leg forward. So you're going to bring the right heel in front of your left toes. This is where a chair or a wall can be really handy. Right? And we're just going to stay here for a count of 10. So you can take the arms out to the side if that helps. You can have your fingertips lightly resting on a chair, right? And you take your arms to whatever level feels good. And I'm going to count to 10 as we hold it. Ready? So let's start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good, step out of it. That's harder than it looks, right? Even though both feet are on the floor, it's a hard balance. All right, we're going to do the other side. So now the left heel comes right in front of the right toes. I can tell you right away, this side's harder for me. Your arms can go wherever will be helpful to you if you need to hold the chair or fingertips on a wall. And let's stay for 1, 2, 3, 4. If you fall out, just come back in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. All right, shake everything out. Ooh, good stuff. We're going to do a little floor work. So if you're working in the chair, feel free to come to seated for these next couple of poses. Right? So we did cat-cow earlier. We're going to do that again here just to kind of give a little relief to our spine. So in the chair, it'll be a cat-cow. On the floor, it's more of a Chakravarkasana where we lengthen forward, draw the belly in, elbows to the mat, forehead moves towards the mat. So move in and out of this pose. Let this be a nice relief because we are going to move into a little cat balance. And you'll have the option in this next pose of using the weight or not. Okay. All right, and let's meet in table. So let me show you first. What we're going to do is extend the left leg, and we'll be working with the right arm. And I'm going to hold my small weight here. And what I'm going to do is be lifting up and lowering down. If you're in the chair, right, you're going to do the same thing. You'll just lift and lower. And we're going to do the same side. Well, let's do 6 of these on each side, right? So it could be opposite arm. If you don't want to use the weight, you can certainly just lift the arm and leg. So extending that left leg, lifting it up so it's about hip height, grasping the weight in your right hand, right? And we're going to lift up and then lower your toes to the floor and the weight to the floor. We're going to lift for 2 and lower, 3 and lower, 4, lower, 5, lower, 6, and take it down. Good. Bring your knee in, let go of the weight, come to table. If you need to bring a little movement here, you can. Now we're going to do the opposite side. So you know how that works. I'm going to do it up here. Right? So you're going to extend your leg behind you, and then we're going to lift for 1 and lower. We're only doing 6. 2 and lower. 3, lower. 4, so there's balance. Right, there's core work. 5 and 6. Whew, good. Move that weight off to the side out of your way and come onto your back if you're on the floor. Yikes. Right. So our next movement is we're going to be moving into bridge with a chest press. So if you're in the chair, you have the option of pressing into your feet and pressing your arms overhead, right? So you could look like that, and you might want to stay with the lighter weights if you're in the chair. If you're going to be on your back, you might find heavier weights work well for you. So you decide what's best for you. If your arms are already tired, you might stay with the weights. But what we're going to do if we're on our back is as we press into our feet to come into bridge, we're going to press the arms up towards the ceiling and then lower back down. All right, so let's start together. We'll only do 6 of these, okay, because it's getting to the end of our practice and I'm sure your muscles are getting fatigued. So when you're ready, take a breath in. On the exhale, press into your feet, lift your pelvis, lift your weights if you're using them, and then slowly, with control, lower down weights, come to the front of the shoulders. And inhale, lift. So if you're in the chair, you can take the arms overhead or simply press into your feet. We'll do number 3, lower back down. 4, release to the floor. 5, only 1 more to go. And our final one, 6. And slowly release down. Good. Let those weights go up to the floor, off to the side, and bring your knees into your chest. If you're in the chair, you'll bring chest to knees, rock side to side, or make Sufi circles if you're seated. You can circle the knees. Whew. Make sure you go the opposite direction. Excellent. And then releasing your feet to the floor, interlace your hands, and then press your palms away from your chest. So if you're in the chair, you'll just be pressing forward on your back or pressing to the ceiling. And then stretch your arms to the right. You can bend that right elbow so you get a little stretch on the back of the shoulder. And then coming back to center, stretch now to the left. You're bending that left elbow. Come back to center, release your hands, shake them out. Good. And then letting your arms rest at your side. If you're in the chair, you'll come towards the front edge, widen your feet, and slowly windshield wiper your knees to each side, relieve any tension in the hips, the low back, just a gentle side to side rock here. Ooh. Excellent. And then walking your feet back in, you'll want to sit back in the chair. Once more, we're going to bring knees in towards chest. And if you're in the chair, you'll skip this, the knees to chest, but then we're going to lengthen arms and legs away to come into dead bug. So that's why you need to be seated back in the chair. And then bend your knees in. You can hug them if you like, or just bring your feet to the floor. And then again, stretch. So if you're on the floor, you get a nice pressing of the spine into the floor. One more time, hug the knees in or bring your feet to the floor and then stretch up. Good. Releasing, you're going to bring your feet to the floor and start to stretch out for relaxation. So I'm going to roll to my side and come up, but I would invite you to lay down. You're welcome to stay in the chair or to find a place that's maybe a little more comfortable to rest. We did a lot in our practice here today, so I want to make sure that we have maybe a 2-minute Shavasana here, 2 to 3 minutes, so that you have that recovery time. And so settle in, make sure you're warm, make sure you're cozy. Close your eyes if they aren't closed already. Take in a big inhale and then exhale out through your mouth. Feel like your body's deflating like a balloon or a flat tire. You need to do that again because you're noticing some tension. Do that again. And let go. You worked hard, so you should feel proud of all that you did in our practice today. Strengthening upper body, lower body, working on balance. To give yourself the gift of resting quietly. And if your mind starts to go into that frantic worrying or popcorning from one item on your to-do list to the next, when you notice that's happening, see if you can guide your attention back to observing your breath. The breath is a wonderful anchor for attention. Take one more breath here. And then take a deeper breath in through your nose. Again, release through your mouth. Start to bring a little movement into your hands, your feet, wiggling toes, circling ankles, wrists. When you're ready, start to stretch. And then roll to your side, particularly if you're laying down. If you're in the chair, you'll want to walk towards the front edge of the chair. Walk your sits bones forward. Take the pause here before you come up to seated to think about, right, what was your intention today? How can you carry that forward into the rest of the day and into your holiday? And then when you're ready, find that comfortable seat. And let's again bring our fingertips to the floor, right, for that little bit of grounding and steadiness. The holidays can be kind of whirlwind. So having this time to steady ourselves, find our center, will help us walk through them with a little more grace and humor and patience. And then bringing hands in front of your heart. Thank you for being here this morning and sharing in this practice. I pray that you be filled with peace and with joy, with love, and with the light of this time of year, the light of the holidays that brings joy and peace to all. Thank you. Namaste.